Well, I kept threatening that I'd do this, and here we are. Here we are. Hi there, guys. My name is Nix, and welcome to Higurashi When They Cry. Yeah, I don't. This is I'm doing this because, well, as when this is going up, it's the spooky month, so I thought it'd be fitting. I don't know a lot about this. All I know is that some people die. And it's all kinds of painful. I know that there's an anime adaptation of this. And as of time of recording, the remake of that anime is going out. But I watched, like, the first episode and was like, yeah, I need to actually, like, sit through and play this. Bearing in mind as well, I will only be covering what Steam calls Chapter 1? There are like 8 chapters on Steam, I think, for Higurashi When They Cry, and I will only be covering 1 for the time being, unless, you know, y'all want to see me play more of the Higurashi games, in which case, I'll barrel on even after October. So, yeah. Anyway, we're on this title screen. We don't have any sound, we just have cicadas. Cicadas? I don't know, the loud chirpy insects. I went briefly into this, and these are all menus. The only interesting ones I saw that they have upgraded, technically, updated character sprites. And all this other stuff is like, I don't know. I guess I didn't seem to do much when messing around with it, so, yeah. Also, I don't know what menu is. Just hoping it's nothing important. Anyway, I've wasted y'all's time long enough. Let's fucking read. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry. The Onikakushi arc, nailed it, will be the opening inviting you into this world. Don't play tough. Please just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you enjoy the reward. Wait, there's trial and error to this shit? Am I gonna die repeatedly? Okay, sure. Oh, fucking great. Just what I hate. Children. Please do not lament. I will not forgive you even if the world... I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? This is a work of fiction? 1983, the early summer of the 58th year in... I don't know. That's a good noise. If it was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears... I can't stop you. I need to... Do you have auto thingy on or something? Under the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud, and yet I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She's no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion, because there was none to show. If she had tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain, my eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. Countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except I'd stubbornly refused to do that, hadn't I? I'd felt better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then. Calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up. And with every little swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Well, other than going slightly too fast for me to read the goddamn things, it's, good start. We're already murdering someone by the looks and sounds of it. Anyway. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. Yeah, it's me. I can't keep up with the goddamn text. Oh. I wonder what she was apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral for a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and multi-lane roads. The melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks. And the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Feel free to yell at me over the pronunciation of the word cicadas, because, I don't know how it's meant to be pronounced. I will flip-flop between cicadas and cicadas, and I know someone will be annoyed. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity, not severity. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean that there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town had some stuff like that, but that's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I'd lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. To be fair, you're not missing much. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody's still apologizing. Who's she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize this much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I had no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you. The one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Keiichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. Oh god, light! Oh, I was not ready for this. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. I like the art. The art's nice. From there, we take a car deeper into the mountains. It's almost like photorealistic art. I dig it. Past where the dense forests encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. Hinamizawa? Hinamizawa? I don't know. We're showing me the title card again. Great. Is this where we take an ad break? Even though we were approaching the summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. God, I wish I knew what that was like. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighbouring house was far away from the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. But only the good air. We suddenly have music! Cool, okay. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. Did he paint these backdrops? It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. Sounds like a Twitch streamer. I'm so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I never told him that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. Japan is fucking weird. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, and ideal breakfast. Again, Japan's kinda weird like that. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, Mom never squandered from any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. Do I read these? Are these important characters? I don't know. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. Keiichi? I'm gonna go with Keiichi. If I didn't wake up early, I wouldn't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough? Pile it on. First, I savoured the steaming hot rice with seaweed. Okay, that's less weird. I thought for a moment it was cold everything. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I'm committing to the voice bits. That's what y'all came here for, right? and to watch me react as horrific shit happens to me. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I still aren't. That's a sentence that left my mouth. Jesus Christ, me. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. That was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that's what you'd call my rebellious phase. I'm sorry, how old are you? Do we have anything in menus? No. We have high text box. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna get screenshots. Nice. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Reina-chan? Hurry, hurry. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. I mean, like, is that not normal? Am I the weird one for thinking that might be normal? Then again, might be just an anime thing. I'm also gonna stick with pronouncing that Reina. Again, if I'm wrong, feel free to yell at me in the comments. But I think from the one episode of the anime I watched, which was the remake if you're interested, I think they pronounced it Rena. Reina? I've contradicted myself. That helps. Anyway, Reina is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I look at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But, well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Reina wait for me there every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I race for the door. Please thank Reina-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. Morning? Who am I meeting? I am assuming you're Reina. Okay, I'm curious to know now. Can I? So these are the new sprites. What do the originals look like? Oh. Okay, yeah, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna stick with the updated ones. No offense to the people that played this back in the day. I don't know when this came out. I think it was early 2000s, but yeah. Those old sprites don't look great. I much prefer my anime girls to be moe. Why do I say these things? Keiichi-kun! Good morning! I'll work a voice out as we go. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. Is that me? It doesn't help. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to Steins Gate where, like, different people had different text boxes down at the bottom. Is that something I can change, or? Does not appear to be so. Also, I can quick save, thank God. At least they put that feature in. I'm gonna assume this is me. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust, without looking back. Why are you so mean? Why? I'm kind of already slipping into Mayuri vibes. I'm not gonna lie. I just thinking to my mouse wheel over to check something else, and I'm like, oh god, that does things in game. My apologies about that. Where was I? Oh yeah. Reina had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. Wow, aren't you just a dick? I'm kidding. I'd wait for you. those words, Raina seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Raina. No matter how long. Forever? Raina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. You ever read a romance novel, Raina? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but too embarrassed to actually buy one. I was about to use the internet like the rest of us do, and then I realized this was the middle of buttfuck nowhere in the early 2000s. Oh no, wait, this is set in 1983. Never mind. What is an internet? I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to be honest and say that they were good, but apparently I just can't be that forthright. I'm a compulsive liar. That's not going to help me at any time down the future, is it? I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who picked them, Raina? Pickled them even? Or was it your mom? Huh? Why do you ask? But were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Raina, or was it your mom? But why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion might change drastically. Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I just couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing probably are the worst. Guys like me. At least you're aware of that fact. Raina nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. And they were delicious. Huh? Pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It really was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray Raina never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife like me. Keep at it, Raina. I'll train you to handle it like the average person. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just kept spacing out otherwise, I called Raina back to reality so we could make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Raina Ryugyu. I like how he's only just bringing that fact up. I gathered that this was Raina, you cretin. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. This music, for one, is strange. Is that Raina, or is this the other one we're supposed to meet? The green-haired one. I don't know. I don't actually know. Mi-chan, good morning! Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Ah, finally! Slipping into Monokuma for a moment there. I need water, I'll be right back. Because I know already what voice she's getting. For those of you that haven't joined me for Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero, you'll know that my cast of female voices is limited, so there will be a repeat, including this one that's coming up right now. Ah, finally, you two are late. Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Reina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. A girl after my own heart. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class.
Morning, Reina! And it's been a while, Kei-chan! How many years?
I was only off 2 days.
You don't say! You're so much cuter back then.
Mion's gaze stared at my chest and then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Yeah, she deserves this voice. So, she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then? Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised.
Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now!
Being so engorged? Yeah, for some reason I was going to say engrossed. Being so engrossed every morning is quite a problem as well, to be fair. But yeah, being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly.
Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy breathe the fresh morning air?
Don't think I've ever heard her talk so dirty you could smell it. It could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Man, they cut this from the fucking thing, didn't they? They cut this from the anime adaptation.
Gotcha. Time for the big reveal.
Oh wait, that's me. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Reina began to ramble in a near panic.
Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Red-faced and flustered, Reina tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. How old are these kids? Maybe that's just like the me that's becoming an old man, but like, how old are these kids? I mean, I thought from like the adaptation, they were like, I don't know, probably something I could Google, but me in post, you'll know, put a thing on screen. Oh, I can use the keyboard to skip the text as well. The issue is I never know who's talking. This is gonna take some stumbling through.
How was it? See you in the city again.
Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the more pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time.
So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked you for?
You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have time to look around in toy stores.
Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is this about games again, Mi-chan?
Mia nodded proudly as Reina giggled.
Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back Westport catalog, you see.
Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using the abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you?
Well, I guess I have to now. I'm going to get another game full of hot action.
Is that the Western kind of action or the dirty kind of action? This time... Oh wait, yeah, I still don't know who's talking, so I'm gonna assume it's me or Reina. I don't know. This time I'd like a game that's easier to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she collects quite a lot of different ones. Going to Reina, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games.
If there's a game you think I'd understand.
Oh, wait. That might be... I don't... I'm gonna run into issues. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too.
Of course. If K-Chan's up for it. I should warn you though, we're pretty tough.
Just what I want. I played all sorts of games, and I don't intend to lose.
Oh. Then we'd let you into the groove this time, I guess.
Bristling with joy from head to toe, Raina looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further.
I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to.
Raina laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. I have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they'd have to make me feel welcome. I feel like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different ages and genders. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago, there used to be a bigger school building than, and they actually had separate classes. However, it seems that something had happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I had already gotten used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. Such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Mion, who'd been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Too bad. I wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face.
What is it, you guys?
Step back, Raina. It's dangerous. She's here.
Huh? Then Sakoto-chan is...
Her name was Sakoto Hyoju. She was a disrespectful, impudent and bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. She sounds annoying, hey? Boy, do I have a voice for you, kid! The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap. A blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious. Sakoto! A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. I don't know if this is Sakoto on the other side of the door or if this is Mion. I'm gonna go with Mion though.
Excellent, K-chan. Guess this means you won this round?
No, this is Sakoto we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I could no longer let my guard down. Sakoto liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly keep coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they will almost never miss fire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape. No time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day.
So then, why don't you open the door and just let it drop?
That's what it is! That's what Sakoto was after. making me focus my attention upward, so that I lifted my hand to the door. There were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. That is... Okay. There's pranks. And then there's, like, borderline D&D traps. That's fucking dangerous. I mean, granted, it's not gonna cause major damage, but that's still fucking painful. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Sakoto. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw open the door and stepped into the room. I felt something strange in my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized she had me hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner.
Kei-chan, watch out!
Oh wait, I was the wrong person. We're gonna get a lot of that. Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body mid-air before I landed on the floor. An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation I had landed square on it.
My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiichi-san. Are we a lively one this morning?
Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual trap, Sakoto.
I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning.
You little... Ow, 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 ow. It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Better than landing on the inkstone. Oh, well, you're adorable. A small hand gently rubbed my head.
Pain, go away.
The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head.
You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears.
Thought about how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now.
Yay! Rika-chan, good morning!
She's already defaulted to Mayuri status. I don't know if that's a good sign or not.
Good morning to you, Reina. Good morning to all.
Rika-chan greeted us each with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Reina, Mion, and I all bowed back.
You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Sakoto.
Oh, that's me. Again, sometimes it's hard to know whether I or Mia? Mika? Shit, I can't remember already. This isn't a good sign. I glared over in her direction. Sakoto was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact.
I'm the very model of a good girl.
A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps.
Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof...
I picked up Sakoto by the back of her collar. Jesus Christ, how small is she? She looked like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. I don't know, sometimes I look at my cat and I'm pretty sure he's plotting my demise. And then he probably remembers that he's not getting fed if he does, so... yeah. She's much harder to deal with.
I'm so...
Oh wait, that's me. I'm Sorry. Try saying that. If you won't say it, I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Sakoto's forehead.
I'm against violence! You don't have any proof!
Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half.
Stop! Get away from me, you beast!
Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt.
She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days.
Rika-chan really is just so... How can I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Sakoto, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. No, for fuck's sake, don't cry, kid. Don't do this to me.
It doesn't bother me! Yeah. Mustn't cry, Sakoto. Keep on fighting, yeah?
Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. I never guessed that these two were the same age. I think Sakoto could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan.
Next time, set an even more amazing trap.
Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Rika's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon.
Oh, Sakoto-chan is crying. So cute. You can't take them home. But they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a bit is fine. It's fine, right?
Reina kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, that was her name. I knew it began with an M. I got as far as M-I. Look, I was halfway there. Reina is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tried to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up.
Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right?
Reina swooned over Sakoto's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Reina into the authorities. Forgive me, Reina. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
The teacher's coming! Quickly, clean everything up! Sakoto, that inkstone is yours, right?
Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Sakoto was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up.
Oh, we made it just in time. Rise! Attention!
Mion gave out the morning commands. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. Just to teach something different to each one. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Reina and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even ended up helping teach the younger kids, so it seemed like they can never get their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher, helping Reina and Mion with their studies.
You're a pretty good teacher, Keiji-kun. Easy to understand.
Reina took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. Makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of a subject is.
They say that to teach something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting your own practice.
In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about the whole thing. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? Look, Mion, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on. With these marks.
It's not like I'm aiming to go to a prestigious school. I'll be fine provided I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exam a little at a time.
Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than somebody who already knew that what was going to be on the entrance exams.
Mi-chan, Kichikuri's doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too. You're such a good and honest kid, Reina. I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school.
Oh wait, is that me? I don't know.
Thank you so much.
Especially you, Reina. Private lessons. Just the two of us.
Private lessons?
A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Reina's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson was she fantasizing about that made her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play about that next time. Man, everyone in this thing really is way too horny for their own good, aren't they? While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question.
So, in the city, do you have to study this much?
If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into university.
So, you study just to get into a university?
Well, yeah, basically. While knowing this stuff will never come in handy in the future.
Out here, you can get into the university as long as your attendance gets good enough.
Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock.
That is right. There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out in an entrance exam. If anyone can get into university, then there's no need to be uptight about this stuff, right?
Well, that's true. You should at least know stuff that's common knowledge.
This old geezer thinks that instead of wasting time studying pointlessly, you should be spending your precious teen years doing something doing more meaningful stuff.
It was too profound a statement to simply laugh it off. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have the depth of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom.
Kei-chan, we're done! We're done! It's our wonderful lunchtime!
In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period.
Keiichi-kun, let's have lunch!
I might have been making a very troubled face. Reina smiled brightly at me.
Alright, let's eat!
There seemed to be different cliques, even within the class. Most of them were divided by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were quite different and we had both guys and girls. But we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness made a transfer student like me pretty happy. Reina and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Sakoto and Rika-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well.
Keiichi-kun, hurry, hurry!
Reina waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunches.
Keiichi-san's lunchbox is most assuredly filled with nothing but bread crusts and like some sort of astute plebeian. Why don't you just show it to us? Come now.
Even though Sakoto was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid of her lunchbox until I was there. Is she just tsundere or just, you know, sadodere at this point? It's hard to tell. Also, I probably shouldn't be stereotyping a girl that looks about, I don't know, 9? I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged over my chair to join the others. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting.
Well then, Representative Me, please get the phrase to signal to start.
First, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but we were all friends. Let's eat, motherfuckers. The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Itadakimasu! Oh god, my knowledge of Japanese is we'll go with limited. Really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. What the? Suddenly developed pins and needles in my right arm. It's just like I can't feel my hand to press the button. And of course, there were lots of other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compared to that, girls, well, at least these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everyone was free to pick at them. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mio noticed that and teased me quite a lot. Are the fruits of my efforts? I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch.
My! Isn't Keiichi's lunch extravagant today?
My, isn't Madame Sakoto's lunch extravagant as well? The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Sakoto was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross, counter-stabbing at each other's lunch.
My, how delicious!
Oh, this taro is good. The stew stuff is good too, even cold. After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile.
I saved some dinner from last night.
By the way, Sakoto and Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. It seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Rika-chan made this too? This tastes like Mom's home cooking. I was honestly impressed. Carrot rosettes? Yeah. Don't know why. I don't know. Of all the words for me to fall over today, rosettes was not one I had expected. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold. They were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do.
I guess Rika-chan's just good at this sort of thing. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing! Rika-chan is quite exceptional in many ways.
Okay, I had thought of originally giving you Faris voice. I'm gonna swap over to more Caroline? Is that the aggressive Velvet Lolly from Persona 5? I can't even remember. That's nothing for you to boast about.
Reina's actually a way better cook than I am. Well, you
It seemed that the topic of conversation switched to Reina when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Reina's lunch really was always the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Reina's lunchbox constantly.
Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time. It's good, I hope. I hope.
Got high marks from me. Mion, you're taking too much. Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out trying to score my own portion. Sakoto and Rika-chan reached over the same time and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rika's lunchbox was soon empty. It's kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Reina. But Reina seemed rather satisfied as she looked on.
How did you like it? Isn't Reina-chan an extremely good cook too? Quite different from Keiji-san.
I said that's nothing for you to boast about.
You're not much different from Kei-chan, Sakoto. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet?
One's green, the other's white, right? I don't know which one. Sakoto's face went pale.
Hey! Even I can tell the difference between cauliflower and broccoli, you know.
Of course I can. I really can. Oh wait, that was her? I don't know. It really is hard for her to lie.
Keiichi-kun! Both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? You should be picking on her. Mi-chan too.
Reina hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Sakoto.
Well. Let's just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Sakoto, what's this?
Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon.
But that's asparagus.
Mion made eye contact with me, and within 0.3 seconds, I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Holding a piece of bacon wrapped in asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible.
Well, the yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait. The green one is cauliflower. So, which? Huh? Probably... The yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower. The green one is...
Question! Breaking the flow. What the fuck is the green one? The green one. Which one the fuck is the blue one? Now even I'm concerned.
Do you really know which is which?
That's the wrong voice.
Y'all really know which is which? How about you just give up?
I'd expect no less from the class representative. The oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has. It's just a hunch, but being brought into this Sonozaki household must have been quite the ordeal.
I do know! I really do! Then answer the question! I know! I know!
I'm gonna get a lot of crying from this girl, aren't I? She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age.
Cute!
Reina entered this... Again, I'm gonna flip-flop between the two. Reina entered the state of euphoria as Sakoto bawled her eyes out. Reina was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Sakoto's head and smothered her. Really, a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile.
who teased my little sister?
I think she just beat the shit out of me, guys. I'm suddenly very concerned for my own well-being. It was like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both of Reina's fists shot out at supersonic speed, striking Mion and me square in the face. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled, spread eagle out on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces.
This is the first time you gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us.
Easy? You mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful from when I'm within striking distance of Reina.
See, Sakoto-chan? I took care of them. Cute. I want to take you home.
Making sure Reina couldn't see it, Sakoto stuck her tongue out at us. Damn it all. Using Reina like a puppet. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. Oh, well, that appears to be the end of class, and I think I'm gonna call that the end of this episode. Yeah, about an hour is about what I usually go for, so that sounds good to me. So, as I said, first episode of this, and I only plan to play through this first Higurashi, although if the series goes over well, I'll play more of them. I want to get this done. See, I was about to say I want to get this done before the end of October, and then I was like, look, me, let's be fucking realistic. You'll still be going after October. Which is why I kind of also want to prove myself wrong. So I'm going to try and get this done through October, but I can't promise anything, sadly. Anyway, if you all enjoyed this episode of Higurashi, or When They Cry, I don't know whether it's like, one's the Japanese way of saying it and the other is the translation, or whether it's like a full sentence or whatever. I don't know. Someone feel free to tell me in the comments, which, as I've said, feel free to give the video a like down below and leave comments to any of the questions that I've answered. Here's hoping that someone has answers for all of them. And yeah, if you want to keep up to date with whenever I post this, the other long-running series I have on the channel is Steins Gate Zero, which, now that I think about it, is actually coming to its end. I've got, like, can't be more than like 5 episodes left, surely. I don't know. We'll work that out when we get there. But yeah, as I say, if you want to keep up to date with whenever I post other videos, be they of this Steins Gate Zero or my stream VODs, you can find me on Twitch. Links in the description. Yeah, you can subscribe to the channel for if you want updates as to when I post over here. In theory, YouTube sends you alerts as to when I post if you subscribe, but I think you have to press the bell icon. So really, all pressing the subscribe button does is you made me feel good about myself, so thanks for that in advance. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been Nyx, and I don't know why I just punched myself in the shoulder. Y'all can't see that shit. Why do I do these things? Laters!